It's Chance and Fallon taking the stage. Deep dives ready to engage. Conversations that spark the soul, where stories unfold and make you whole. The Chance and Fallon show's the place to be. Talking about the world and what we need to see. Tune in now, don't miss a beat. Articulation Media's got you on your feet.
Welcome to the Chance and Fallon Show.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving into a real convergence of challenges and, well, maybe historic opportunity facing the Jackson City Council right now.
Yeah, that's a lot. They're balancing the books, holding contractors accountable, and figuring out the future of this huge piece of land, the Lake Hico property, 640 acres.
You're right, 640 acres. So our goal today is really to give you a shortcut to understanding not just the immediate policy stuff, but also the deeper historical economic implications of this Lake Hico project.
Exactly. And this isn't just some local story. We're seeing sources call this maybe the biggest chance for transformation in a southern city in, the last 100 years.
That's a massive claim. And it's all happening fast, right? There's a ticking clock. The council has votes coming up very soon on resolutions meant to overhaul city operations, city spending.
Yeah, it's all about trying to get the city's financial health in order, it seems.
Okay, so let's start with the immediate stuff. The housekeeping, almost. Councilman Kenneth Stokes put forward a resolution, right? Authorizing the mayor's office to, eliminate, merge, combine city departments.
It's a pretty clear signal they're serious about shrinking the overall budget size.
It seems focused internally on operations. The resolution itself is broad, doesn't name names like which department.
No, not yet. But it points to streamlining, finding efficiencies. It's that kind of internal review of how city money is being spent. Necessary, maybe, but probably painful for some.
But is it, foundational? Or is it more optics? We're talking about this huge, potentially century-defining project down the line.
And the main financial fixes right now are budget cuts and killing one contract.
Exactly. That's the other Stokes resolution, isn't it? Targeting New Way MS Inc.
That's the one. They were hired for litter removal, cleaning bridges. The city wants to terminate the contract. Says they didn't meet expectations, left key areas untouched.
So terminating one contract because they didn't deliver, is that real institutional rigor? Or is it, like you said, just cleaning up one messy file before launching the biggest public-private partnership the city's ever seen?
That's a really sharp point. It definitely raises questions about credibility, accountability in Jackson politics. I mean, if managing a small cleaning contract is a struggle.
How does the public trust them with something that could reshape the entire city over decades?
Right. So this push for efficiency, for accountability, even if the steps seem small right now, it feels like an attempt to build or maybe rebuild some public trust, just as the conversation shifts to this enormous thing, Lake Hico.
Colossal is definitely the word. And before we even look forward, we really need to grasp the financial and historical weight this land carries. It's not just real estate, is it? It's an endowment and kind of an historical wound.
Absolutely. It's all about its designation. 16th section land. So the state of Mississippi owns these sections, holds them in trust, specifically to generate money for public education.
For JPS, the Jackson Public School District in this case.
Precisely. Which means JPS has to manage it to maximize the financial return. Long-term leases, basically. The money goes to programs, resources, teachers, even things like band uniforms.
Wait, okay. If it's an endowment, doesn't that fundamentally limit what they can do with it? They must maximize revenue. Doesn't that automatically create conflict with, say, community demands for free, immediate public access?
That is the absolute core tension of this entire project.
Yeah.
It has to be an economic engine first, but its history demands it also be a public amenity.
And the history. It goes back, right, built in the 50s.
Yeah, 1950s.
Yeah.
Originally a cooling pond for the Rex Brown power plant that was Mississippi's first major power plant.
Right.
But it was also used for recreation back then. Fishing, boating, picnics.
Including the exclusive Jackson Yacht Club.
Right, and that history is, well, it's explosive. Let's talk about why it shut down in 1968.
Yeah, because that closure, that's the historical wound you mentioned.
It really is. The official line from the utility, Mississippi Power and Light, cited liability, environmental issues.
But, sources are pretty clear. The closure happened right smack in the middle of the civil rights movement.
As Jim Crow segregation was ending.
Exactly. And officials chose to close it down permanently rather than integrate it.
Wow. So this land, specifically meant to fund education for all kids, just sat there, unused for 50 years, potential revenue down the drain.
All because officials prioritized segregation over their actual duty to the school system. Before Energy retired the plant just a few years ago, 2019, 2020.
They were paying JPS something like $350,000 a year in lease payments, right?
Which is gone now.
Gone now. And Energy, as part of their original lease agreement, had to clean it all up, drain it, remediate the land, restore it for unrestricted use. They took down the old structures, cleared the site.
And handed this huge clean canvas back to JPS.
Huge is right. It's almost hard to picture unless you're there. That's 640 acres. It's actually bigger than all of downtown Jackson.
Downtown Jackson is under 600 acres, yeah. And compared to popular spots like Fondren, which is tiny, like 25 acres.
It's just vast. And that scale, that's what backs up that claim of largest transformation in 100 years.
So what's the vision? JPS Superintendent Eric Green and the architect Roy Decker, they're pushing a pretty ambitious mixed-use plan.
Oh, definitely ambitious. It's designed to fundamentally change the city's economic landscape. We're talking housing.
Including affordable housing, which is critical.
Absolutely. Plus business space, restaurants, coffee shops, the usual mix. But also serious entertainment infrastructure, like a big outdoor concert venue.
Skate parks, courts. I even saw mention of potentially a solar power farm.
Yeah, leveraging the space. The whole idea is to create this dynamic, self-sustaining economic ecosystem. Councilwoman Tina Clay nailed it when she framed it as an asset for the whole city.
Because it has to generate sales tax, jobs, and crucially, maximize that long-term lease revenue for JPS.
That's the mandate. It's like building a city within a city, but its primary purpose is funding public schools.
Okay, so for listeners thinking, great, when do they start digging? What's the reality check here? The timeline sounds long.
Brutal is maybe a better word. We're talking 20 to 30 years for the whole project. The immediate next step, this 6-month phase, that's just planning.
Just laying out the framework, figuring out the major pieces before they even start looking for developers.
Exactly. Shovels in the ground are a long way off.
Which brings up a huge question, right? When the opportunity is so tied up with fixing a historical wrong, that 1968 closure is a multi-decade timeline really acceptable to the community.
That's the heart of the tension. You're hearing it from community voices, like Dr. Pertis Williams from Project HUEmanity. They're framing this differently.
As a moral obligation.
Right.
An act of civic repair that needs to happen faster.
Yes. And when they say civic repair, it's not just about, walking trails or new buildings. It's about fundamentally changing the governance, the development priorities, so this new asset immediately benefits the people who were shut out back in '68.
It's about fixing the systemic damage from that exclusion.
Precisely. And transparency is a huge piece of that. Advocates want the water quality data released now.
Even though consultants apparently said contamination levels are not harmful.
Right, but the trust level in Jackson politics is just, it's low. The community wants to see the raw data themselves. You can't blame them, really.
No, you can't. And they're pushing back hard on that 20-30-year timeline, too. Dr. Williams has proposed something much faster.
Yeah, a more pragmatic 10-year roadmap, focused on getting people access sooner, phased access, like years 3 to 5, maybe walking trails, environmental education.
And then years 6 to 10, maybe phased reopening for boating, some small concessions.
Something like that. The idea is shared public stewardship, starting now, not decades from now.
That quote, watching you like white on rice, that came from a community forum, didn't it?
It did. And it tells you everything about the trust deficit. It frames this whole thing as potentially adversarial from the get-go.
What else came out of those forums? Big concerns.
Oh, yeah. Deep concerns. Who pays for upkeep? What about the surrounding neighborhoods, the blight there? Will they get neglected while all the focus is on the shiny new Lake Hico site?
That's crucial. And making sure local Jackson residents, local businesses are actually full participants, not just bystanders.
Absolutely. And that leads to this governance tension. Dr. Williams basically argued that JPS should stick to educating kids, not get into managing, developing, and selling real estate with the help of politicians already proven crooked or untrustworthy. Ouch.
That's a direct hit on the history of local government mismanagement. It suggests handing this massive project to the same political structure is just asking for trouble.
It really does.
Yeah.
JPS Superintendent Green's response was committing to a community work group.
A work group, not a watchdog group.
Exactly. It signals collaboration, maybe, but not formal oversight. which again just highlights that trust gap they need to bridge.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what does it all mean? Jackson's got these two tracks running side by side, it feels like.
It really does. On one track, you've got these immediate governance fixes, budget cuts, holding a small contractor accountable, trying to get the house in order.
And on the other track, they're launching this monumental, potentially historic long-term development at Lake Hico, a project directly linked to fixing past racial injustice and funding future education.
And the core tension, looking ahead, is that unavoidable clash. The pace needed for grand economic development 20, 30 years to maximize those returns for JPS.
Versus the urgency the community feels for equitable access, for civic repair, which they argue needs to happen much, much sooner, like within a decade.
Right. And because Lake Hico is 16th section land, its redevelopment must maximize revenue for the schools. That's the law. So given the huge scale, that decades-long timeline, here's a final thought for you.
How might that constant balancing act, long-term financial gain for schools versus immediate community benefit and equity, how might that actually change what we even mean by a successful city development project for Jackson's next generation?
That's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it?
It's Chance and Fallon taking the stage.